What's up, everybody? This is Daniel. Today I want to talk about a topic in which we've been touching for a very long time, and that is going to be running social media ads, mostly Facebook and Instagram advertising, to help a wedding venue scale up the number of booked weddings that they have, especially moving into 2023 from here. So I want to get quite tactical in this video so you can walk away with some actionable steps that you can implement into your business to hopefully help you get more private function bookings and wedding bookings moving into 2023. So when it comes to generating more wedding bookings for your venue, whether weddings are the main source of revenue for your venue or whether they are just one of the revenue sources that your venue could deliver on, I want to be talking about weddings, because the unique thing about weddings is they are quite high ticket sales, meaning that one wedding can confidently generate anywhere from, on the low end, $4,000, on the high end, $40,000, and I'm sure you know that they can go up much higher than that. But depending on your scope and sort of what type of wedding you're trying to generate more of is going to slightly change this strategy. But I want to talk about two different ways that you can scale up the number of booked weddings that you have. So first off, we need to start to think about marketing. How can we run some marketing to generate more demand for what it is we do? Then how can we take that demand that we generate and turn it into booked weddings or booked events within the venue, okay? These are two different subjects, and so we have to silo them, but they're very connected, okay? Different, but very, very connected, okay? First strategy I want to touch on is running some social media ad campaigns on Facebook and Instagram to a funnel, okay? So all a funnel is, in its very simple form, is a step-by-step marketing and sales process that takes someone from someone who's shown some interest in what it is that you do through a very structured process, ultimately with the goal of them becoming a buyer, okay? So there's different steps in this, but when you're building a funnel, you can use a funnel builder. Maybe you've heard of ClickFunnels. You could use Wix, you could use Squarespace. There's many different funnel building options out there, but the basic idea of a funnel is you run an ad, and that ad is going to have some sort of promotion. That promotion is then going to take somebody to a web page, which you would host on a funnel building software, whatever software you are interested in using. Then the goal of that software is usually to get some details about that prospect in terms of their name, their email address, ideally their phone number, and then maybe some basic information about what they're looking for in terms of dates, number of people, and maybe some basic descriptions about their wedding and how they envisioned it. What would then happen is you would have this form that somebody submits connected to a salesperson within your team. It's then the salesperson's job to take that first pillar, which I'm going to call marketing, and turn that into a sales conversation started. The goal of the salesperson is to take that started conversation and turn it into a booked wedding in the at the highest ratio possible, at the highest close rate possible. Okay, so on the marketing side, you can use a Facebook or Instagram ad to a funnel that you build out on a funnel building web page software, which is then connected to a salesperson in your business, who's typically their job is to get that prospect on the phone, do some discovery, ask some really great questions to the bride or groom or the person planning the wedding to figure out if their wedding is actually a good fit for what the venue can deliver on and can service. If it is, then the natural next step is to either have a Zoom meeting with that prospect to move the sale forward, or invite them in for a viewing of the space. Once they come in for a viewing of the space, usually that should be enough to tip the deal over the line, but then you would have to obviously deal with objections, and the sales cycle could be much longer for specific types of weddings, okay? And so it depends on your sales process at that point, but the basic premise is social media ad campaign to a funnel, which is going to be a basic 1 or 2 step funnel, to a phone call with a salesperson in your business. Then depending on your sales process, the salesperson's job is to take that lead and turn them into a buyer. So that is its own arena, it's its own game. On the marketing side, you can do social media ad to funnel built on a website. So that's going to be one strategy that you can use. The second strategy in which I would recommend, especially moving into 2023, is going to be the same start, which is going to be running a Facebook or Instagram ad. You can see some options on screen right now, some ads that we've had a lot of success with in the past, and we are continuing to see success with at the end of 2020 and moving into 2023. We're going to hold them the same because the return on investment is very, very good. So you can see some examples here. So these ads are what we call send to messenger ads. Okay, so somebody reads through the copy on the ad, they click on the ad, and it's going to take them to a messenger conversation. And the messenger conversation is doing pretty much the same job as a website form would do, except it's conversational. And it allows you to squeeze more juice out of the leads that you get, because you can re-engage with them on Messenger, you can re-engage with them on email, on text, you can leave them a voicemail, you can call them, you can send them videos on Facebook Messenger, you can send them voice messages on Facebook Messenger, and you can also, if they came from Instagram, you can then touch base with them on Instagram DMs. So it opens up a larger number of channels of communication, so you can work your lead flow a lot harder. Okay, and because weddings are very high ticket sales, it's very worthwhile giving us the highest ratio of throughput from the funnel off the back of the advertising that we are running. Okay, so Messenger as a initial channel of communication to filter prospects is very, very potent. Okay, so just to recap, you can run social media ad to a Facebook Messenger conversation where you have an automated conversation with prospects that would be connected to a salesperson in your team to keep oversight of that conversation that's happening in real time, or you can set up automation to notify the salesperson as a prospect moves through the automated messenger chat and hits different points within that. Okay, once that happens, it's then again up to your salesperson to move that sale forward, ideally get the prospect on the phone, and then ideally move them into an in-person viewing, and then close as many in-person viewings as possible. That game is essentially a sales game, but if we're just going to talk about lead generation, we've seen the most success with running ads to a social media messenger conversation, and then using Messenger as our main means of communication, at least at the start of the sales cycle for that prospect, because we can just squeeze the juice a lot harder. Okay, so we see very, very, very good return on investment using these approaches, especially if you're selling very high ticket weddings and you have a salesperson that's very diligent and hungry to make sales and close deals. So often incentivizing your salesperson with some commission of some sort is going to be a great way to do it, because appointment setting and sales sort of fall into the same category. This might sound like technobabble jargon, but if you know what I'm talking about, then this is probably going to resonate. But those are the two strategies that I would recommend. You can use social media ad to a website funnel, or you can use social media ad to a Facebook Messenger funnel. If I'm going to decide, I'll choose the Messenger funnel because it gives us more juice to squeeze, especially in the long run, and it allows us to schedule more leads into sales conversations. So I hope that made sense to somebody out there. If you got any questions regarding social media advertising, lead generation, closing deals for private function businesses or wedding businesses, and you want to bounce some ideas off somebody, feel free to reach out to us, check out our website, or just leave a comment below and I'll touch base with you and we can potentially jump on a call if you wanted to go there. Otherwise, I hope you got some value out of this. I'd love a like or a comment if you have any questions, and if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It'll help us out a lot, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.